Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. Outrage is ensuing amongst members of the Republican Party inside Congress, especially after this program revealed to you on the night before the budget bill would be passed that John Thune snuck in this $500,000 provision that United States senators could sue the Justice Department for spying on them, looking at their phone records without their knowledge. Now, I'm against the DOJ doing that, not just to senators, to any American. And now we're finding out that these senators could get $500,000. It was snuck in at the last minute. Basically extortion to Republican members of the House that were forced to vote on this bill with this provision in it, which isn't fair to the people that were targeted by the DOJ, like J6ers and people on that Arctic frost list. Here's one congressman who's not happy, John Rose.
This, this provision is unconscionable, unimaginable, frankly. I didn't see that it was worth inflicting the harm that the shutdown was doing to the American people for another hour, another minute, really. And so that ultimately led to my vote for the CR.
You had nearly every Republican congressman that I respect want this provision out. What's good for a United States senator should be good for a persecuted American citizen. But it's not. But this is what the swamp does. John Thune did what the swamp does best. Set himself up and other senators to enrich themselves. And look, you can't use your position of power to do these things. It looks to me like that's exactly what he did here. And how do I know it was John Thune? Because the Speaker of the House blew the whistle on him.
And that's why I was so surprised when we found out about that provision. It was put in our clean CR at the last moment. I'm just be honest, I'm very transparent with you all. I was very angry about it. I was. And a lot of my members called me and said, did you know about it? We had no idea. That was dropped in at the last minute. And I did not appreciate that, nor did most of the House members. Many of them are very angry about that.
All right, look, we have real Americans who suffered at the hands of the Department of Justice. J6ers, as I mentioned, everyone surrounding President Trump, anybody fighting for him, including President Trump himself. And yet these senators say, oh, they looked at my phone records? $500,000? What about all the attorneys that face disbarment in liberal states like California, indictments against them, like our friend Christina Bobb, who appeared here the other night?
It's bad enough they put it in there, but at least if you're going to write it in, that anybody on the Arctic frost list gets a minimum of $500,000, because what they're basically saying is, oh, the J6ers, the Arctic frost, the electors, all these people, they can go sue in Washington, D.C., and they'll get a fair jury there. But for these senators, they get a minimum, statutory minimum of $500,000 for every offense. It's not equal. It's not fair.
All right, so because this bill needed to be passed, nobody could vote no. It would have had to go back to committee. It would have held this bill up for days. So here's what I say needs to happen. They need to repeal this. Instantly repeal it when they get back to doing the business inside the halls of Congress. That's the bottom line.